The Yellowstone universe is expanding again, and this time, it's with a sequel that fans have been begging for. The Beth and Rip spin-off just got a major cast update, and it's turning heads across the fandom. One beloved character is stepping into the spotlight in a way we never saw coming, and the entire direction of the series might be shifting because of it. Let's break it all down. Carter, played by Finn Little, was just a kid who walked into the Dutton world with nothing and slowly carved out a place for himself. And now, he's coming back, basically as the main character of this new sequel. We already knew that Kelly Reilly and Hauser were going to shoulder this new series, but honestly, until the recent filming updates, I didn't expect anything else to be revealed. Then boom, Kelly basically teased Carter's involvement before any official confirmation was made. On the night of the Yellowstone series finale, she posted a reel and wrote, "Whatever the future holds, this is the ending of the show we have been making for the past 7 years." To that post, Finn commented, "Thank you, Mama. It was a pleasure." And Kelly replied, "You and I are just beginning. Love you." At the time, none of us thought this was a spill the tea moment. We simply assumed they were saying goodbye to their characters in a sweet way. Well, months after Yellowstone's finale, this suggestion became fact when Deadline confirmed that Carter will follow Beth and Rip to their new life in Dillon. Am I the only one who's extremely excited about this? Let me know in the comments, because honestly, it makes perfect sense. Carter's story has always been about a kid who wanted to embrace cowboy life, a sign that there is still hope for the future. Do you remember back in Season 4, Episode 6 when he looked at John Dutton and said, "I want to be him"? That wasn't just a kid idolizing a tough man. Carter saw what John stood for. And he wanted that for himself. It seems like Dillon will follow Carter's journey to becoming the next John Dutton, with Beth and Rip acting as both his parents and mentors. By the end of Yellowstone, Carter's relocation with Beth and Rip was one of the most powerful and emotional reveals in the finale. Taylor Sheridan has always loved the dynamic of older mentors guiding the younger generation. John Dutton did it. Jacob Dutton, played by Harrison Ford in 1923, did it too. So the idea that Carter could be groomed to carry the Dutton legacy into the future feels like a natural continuation. In the new show, we'll likely watch Carter as a trainee on the ranch, with flashbacks to iconic John Dutton moments guiding us through his transformation. Beth and Rip, meanwhile, may find peace in raising Carter, allowing them to heal from their past trauma by investing in his future. But what do Kelly Reilly and Hauser think about this next chapter? Well, this is where things get a little messy. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Cole said, "I'm as excited as everyone else. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Hopefully, we'll start seeing developments soon." That basically means he doesn't know the storyline yet, which is wild. You'd think the lead actors would be looped in already, but it turns out that both Cole and Kelly are still in the dark, at least that's what they claim. Cole added, "It's been a tremendous journey, and I hope to spend more years with Kelly, seeing what we can create for the audience that will hopefully be as good or better than what we've done so far." So while the spin-off is definitely happening, it sounds like they're still figuring out the details behind the scenes. And this new edition of Carter probably influenced the direction of the script more than anything else. There were rumors that the show might be called Dutton Ranch, but Cole denied those rumors. What we do know, thankfully, is when it's coming. According to Paramount Global's Q4 2025 earnings call transcript, the Beth and Rip Yellowstone spin-off will premiere in November 2025. That's only a year after Yellowstone's final episode, which is pretty incredible given how long some spin-offs take to hit the screen. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate the pace at which Taylor Sheridan is working? It's insane. Landman Season 2 is coming out the same month, November 2025. Jeremy Renner's Mayor of Kingstown Season 4 is premiering in October. And Sylvester Stallone's Tulsa King Season 3 drops in September. Sheridan's not slowing down anytime soon. And somehow, despite all these projects, Beth and Rip's show is still a priority, or at least that's what I'm hoping. For more weekly updates, discussions, and details on the Beth and Rip spin-off series, make sure to like and follow. And while you're here, the video on your screen might also interest you. When Yellowstone aired its explosive final episode, the fandom was left buzzing with questions, chief among them, what happens next to Beth and Rip Wheeler? As the heart and soul of the Dutton family in many ways, their bond was tested time and again throughout the series. But by the end, one thing was clear, Beth and Rip had found something resembling peace, and for once, a chance at a future together. That future, as it turns out, is now getting its own spotlight. Shortly after the finale aired, Paramount officially confirmed that a spin-off series centered around Beth and Rip was in active development. This announcement instantly reignited excitement across the Yellowstone community. While creator Taylor Sheridan is known for keeping key plot elements close to the chest, early reports made one thing clear: this was not just a minor side project. This was a direct continuation of two of Yellowstone's most compelling characters. The new series is said to explore Beth and Rip's life after they leave the Dutton Ranch, giving fans a fresh look at their dynamic away from the land that shaped them. The location? A town called Dillon, a name that has popped up in fan theories and casting rumors for months. While Dillon remains largely a mystery, insiders suggest it's a rugged, small-town setting that offers a different kind of challenge, one where Beth and Rip must rebuild their identity from the ground up. Tonally, the spin-off promises to carry the same gritty Western DNA that made Yellowstone iconic, but with a more introspective and emotionally charged approach. Expect long-held traumas, new threats, and perhaps most intriguingly, a shift from power struggles over land to the internal struggles of starting over. Beth and Rip have always had a volatile yet unbreakable connection, and now, in this new chapter, they'll be navigating life as more than just survivors. They'll be attempting to live, lead, and love on their own terms. Of course, the spin-off wouldn't be complete without complications. While early announcements kept cast details vague, it was clear from the beginning that Kelly Reilly and Hauser would return in their iconic roles. Their involvement alone made the spin-off one of Paramount's most highly anticipated projects. But until recently, details around who else might join them were locked behind studio doors. That mystery has now begun to unravel with the major casting updates surrounding Finn Little's Carter, something we'll dig into in the next chapter. Still, even with limited information, fans haven't stopped speculating. Will the show dive into Beth's ongoing inner turmoil? Will Rip finally confront the ghosts of his own violent past? Or will Dillon be a clean slate, a place where a new kind of Dutton legacy can take root? One thing's for certain, if Taylor Sheridan is involved, this won't be your average cowboy story. It'll be raw, bold, and deeply human, just like Beth and Rip themselves. In a move that caught fans completely off guard, Deadline reported this week that Finn Little, who portrayed Carter in Yellowstone, will return as a series regular in the upcoming Beth and Rip spin-off. But this isn't just a casual cameo or background role. Carter is now set to be a central figure in the continuation of the Dutton legacy. And with that announcement, the Yellowstone fandom exploded in excitement. For those who may need a refresher, Carter was first introduced in Yellowstone Season 4 as a scrappy, orphan teenager who crossed paths with Beth in the most unexpected way. After losing his father, Carter was left with no one and nothing, until Beth stepped in, reluctantly at first, to take responsibility for him. What started as a rocky relationship quickly evolved into one of the most emotionally compelling arcs in the series. Beth saw in Carter the same kind of rage, pain, and loss that had shaped her own life, and for the first time, she began to mother someone in her own unconventional way. Over time, Carter slowly began to understand what it meant to live the cowboy lifestyle. With the influence of Rip and the weight of Yellowstone ranch culture on his shoulders, he went from being a lost soul to someone eager to earn his place among the Duttons. By the time the original series neared its end, Carter had not only matured but was clearly being shaped into something more, something important. And now, that transformation appears ready to take center stage. According to early details, Carter won't just be following Beth and Rip to the new location of Dillon, his story will be foundational to the entire spin-off. The series is rumored to chronicle his journey into adulthood and leadership, echoing the path John Dutton once walked. Beth and Rip will act as mentors, helping mold Carter not just into a good man, but into a protector of a legacy. That legacy may no longer be tied directly to Yellowstone Ranch, but it still carries the same weight, values, and sense of honor that John Dutton lived by. The parallels are already striking. Carter once told John, "I want to be him." That simple line from season 4 might have sounded like a boy's admiration, but now it reads like prophecy. With John gone, and Case on his own journey, Carter might be the unexpected heir to the moral, and maybe even physical, throne of the Dutton family. His return also signals something deeper: hope. Amid all the blood, betrayal, and loss that defined Yellowstone, Carter represents the chance to build something new. He's not a Dutton by blood, but by spirit. And in true Taylor Sheridan fashion, that might be all that matters. In a world as cutthroat as the one Beth and Rip live in, Carter might just be the future they didn't know they needed. And the one that Yellowstone fans can't wait to follow. Sometimes, the biggest reveals aren't dropped in official trailers or press releases, they're hidden in plain sight, waiting for fans to connect the dots. And in the case of Carter's return in the upcoming Yellowstone spin-off featuring Beth and Rip, that's exactly what happened. The first major clue was quietly shared during a moment of reflection, long before any casting confirmations were made. On the night that the Yellowstone series finale aired, Kelly Reilly, who's given a powerhouse performance as Beth Dutton since day one, took to Instagram with a heartfelt message to fans and cast alike. The caption read, "Whatever the future holds, this is the ending of the show we've been making for the past 7 years. A simple yet powerful goodbye, or so it seemed." But what truly sparked attention was Finn Little's response. The young actor, who portrayed Carter, replied, "Thank you, Mama. It was a pleasure." That affectionate comment would have been touching on its own. But Kelly Reilly's reply was what set off alarm bells in hindsight. "You and I are just beginning. Love you." At the time, fans understandably took this exchange as a sweet farewell between on-screen mother and son figures. After all, the show had just wrapped, and emotions were running high. But looking back now, those words feel far more intentional. Just beginning wasn't simply a phrase of comfort, it was a tease, a breadcrumb leading toward Carter's expanded future in the Yellowstone universe. This kind of subtle foreshadowing isn't new for the franchise. Creator Taylor Sheridan has often planted narrative seeds early, allowing them to bloom quietly over time. Whether it's a single line of dialogue or a meaningful glance between characters, fans who pay attention are often rewarded with deeper insight into where the story might go. The exchange between Reilly and Little may now be seen as one of those moments. And it makes sense. Carter's character arc always felt like it was building towards something greater. He wasn't just another side character, he was a symbol of second chances, of legacy reborn. From a troubled orphan with a criminal father to a young man welcomed into the Dutton fold, his evolution was more than just a coming-of-age story. It was about transformation, identity, and eventually, inheritance. Now that we know Carter is set to become a central figure in the Beth and Rip sequel, that Instagram comment thread reads like a soft launch announcement. Finn Little himself may have known the role he was stepping into long before fans were clued in. And Kelly Reilly's warmth? It wasn't just admiration, it was a knowing embrace of what's to come. In a franchise built on secrets, betrayal, and buried truths, it's almost poetic that the biggest clue to the future was dropped in the most public of places, disguised as a simple exchange between castmates. As it turns out, the clues really were there all along. In the expansive world of Yellowstone, legacy isn't just a theme, it's the lifeblood of the story. Land, family, sacrifice, and honor are passed down from one generation to the next, often paid for in blood and tears. And now, in the wake of the original series' conclusion, one unlikely character is poised to carry that legacy forward: Carter. It may have seemed like a fleeting moment at the time, but back in season 4, Carter looked up at John Dutton and said, "I want to be him." At first glance, it sounded like a young boy idolizing a strong, respected man. But in hindsight, that line was far more than admiration, it was foreshadowing. With John gone and Beth and Rip relocating to Dillon, Carter isn't just tagging along. He's being groomed, not in title, but in spirit, to become the next steward of the Dutton legacy. Carter's journey is deeply symbolic. He isn't born a Dutton. He doesn't have the family name or the bloodline. But what he has is heart, grit, and a desire to belong. That desire, combined with the mentorship of Beth and Rip, is what makes him the perfect candidate to carry the legacy forward. It's not about blood, it's about values, and Carter has already shown he understands the core tenets of the Dutton way of life: protect your family, honor your land, and never back down. Taylor Sheridan, the mastermind behind the Yellowstone universe, has long woven intergenerational storytelling into his shows. From James Dutton's westward journey in 1883 to Jacob Dutton's stoic leadership in 1923, and John Dutton's iron-fisted rule in Yellowstone, we've seen how the weight of legacy can shape, and sometimes break, men. Now, Sheridan appears ready to explore how that legacy is rebuilt by someone outside the bloodline. In Carter, we get a new kind of heir, one not born into the power but shaped by it, tested through hardship. His relationship with Beth has been one of the most emotionally raw and layered dynamics in the series. She was not the maternal type, yet with Carter, she began to soften, protecting him fiercely, teaching him harsh truths, and ultimately offering him the family he never had. Rip, too, serves as a blueprint for Carter. Once a troubled outsider himself, Rip rose to become the enforcer and guardian of the Dutton name. It's only fitting that he would now pass that same torch to Carter. In this new chapter, the Dutton legacy isn't just being preserved, it's being redefined. Through Carter, we may see a new vision of what it means to be a Dutton, someone forged by love, pain, and loyalty, rather than simply by birthright. As the series shifts focus from the Yellowstone Ranch to the town of Dillon, Carter's rise from orphan to leader could very well become the emotional core of the next generation of stories. So what do the stars themselves think? In a recent Hollywood Reporter interview, Hauser said, "I'm as excited as everyone else. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Hopefully, we'll start seeing developments soon." That's a little surprising, especially since he admits he hasn't seen the full script yet. Kelly Reilly hasn't said much publicly either, though her Instagram tease speaks volumes. It seems even the stars are being kept in suspense, or they're staying tight-lipped due to NDAs. Thankfully, we don't have to wait too long. According to Paramount Global's Q4 2025 earnings call, the Beth and Rip spin-off is scheduled to premiere in November 2025. That's just 1 year after Yellowstone's final season, a fast turnaround considering Taylor Sheridan has multiple shows in production. In addition to this, Sheridan's slate includes Landman Season 2, also coming in November, Mayor of Kingstown Season 4, October, and Tulsa King Season 3, September. So the Yellowstone team is clearly moving full speed ahead. So what do you think about Carter becoming the centerpiece of the Beth and Rip sequel? Is this the right move, or would you rather see new characters take the lead? One thing's for sure, this cast update just raised the stakes for the future of the Yellowstone universe. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for weekly breakdowns. And if you're just as excited about the future of Yellowstone as we are, the next video on your screen is made for you.